Hello everyone and welcome to this tele-tutoring class. I am your tutor, Ms. Yakatoli Chisho from Razakre Government Higher Secondary School. I'll be taking your business studies. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the class 11 commerce for taking commerce as your stream. This subject is very different from other stream as it is very challenging also, and at the end of your class 12 or degree, you will be able to become a risk taker. You will become independent in your decision making, and most importantly you will have a financial literacy. So I wish you all the very best. And this is not a usual formal class, okay, but we teacher, we will give our best to explain the concept that we are going to, I'm going to teach you now. So as I said that I'll be taking your business studies. So this is the book which has been recommended by the Nagaland Board of School Education. I have written the author name also, it's R.K. Singla. Since it's available in the market, I want every one of you to please purchase one book for yourself. So we will start with the first chapter, okay, that is your evolution and fundamentals of business. Now, since you have already taken up commerce, okay, we will be studying more about business. So when I say business, what comes to your mind? When I say, what do you understand by business? What comes to your mind? Okay, you may be thinking that business is, an exchange of goods and services, or business can be, an exchange between a seller and a buyer, or maybe purchase and sale of goods, isn't it? So those are all, a simple meaning for business. And when we look into the word business, okay, this word business has been derived from the term busy, B-U-S-Y, busy, okay. So every human being, we are all busy doing one or the other activity, isn't it? Like, there are some people who are busy producing things. There are some people who are busy buying and selling of goods and services. There are some people who are doing, social work, isn't it? So all those activities are called human activities, okay? So in your textbook, human activities means any activities that a human being performs in order to fulfill his requirement. You got it, isn't that? Any activities that a human being performs in order to fulfill his requirements. So as a student also, you must be, now we have already started our tele-tutoring classes. So you'll be busy, preparing for your lessons, isn't that? At home, your parents, okay, will be every one of us are busy in order to fulfill some of our needs. So that is called, in simple terms, that is called human activity. Now, in commerce, these human activities can be divided into two major groups. That is, one is economic activity and the other one is non-economic activity. Okay, so let us discuss what is economic activity and non-economic activity. Economic activity are those activities whose objective is to earn money. You got to see that? Any activity which involve earning money is called economic activity. Whereas on the other hand, non-economic activity means those activities whose objective is not to earn money, okay, but we do those activities in order to gain mental satisfaction. You got it, isn't it? I'll just give you one simple example to differentiate between economic and non-economic activity. Now, maybe after your class 10, some of you must be giving tuitions also, isn't it? So when you give tuition, for the services you are providing, you earn some money, isn't it? So that comes under economic activity, because by giving tuitions, you have earned money, you are earning some income. Yes or no? On the other hand, okay, the tuition that you give at home, for example, you teach your siblings, isn't that? You do not expect any return, you do not expect any, income, yes or no? But you do that in order to fulfill your mental satisfaction, okay? So these are the two examples to differentiate between economic and non-economic. Economic means which you are doing in order to earn money. Non-economic means which you do in order to gain mental satisfaction. So today, okay, and in your book, we will be studying only about economic activity. You got to see that? So economic activity can be again further divided into business, profession, and employment. Okay, so economic activity can be divided into business, profession, and employment. Okay, I have written here, presented here in the chart. Okay, so let's come to first what is business. Okay, let's come to this business. So in the earlier discussions also, we have already discussed that business is doing it's all about buying and selling of goods, isn't it? Business is all about purchase and sell of goods, isn't it? So those are some simple terms of business. Okay, but in when we talk about business in broader sense, okay, business means the sum total of all those activity started from the production till the goods are made available in the market. Okay, let me just repeat. Business means the sum total of all those activities starting from the production till the goods are made available in the market. Okay, so that is called business. Now, how is it? Let me just explain to you. See, the goods that we get in the market are all finished goods, isn't it? But once those finished goods were just a raw material, yes or no? So the work of a businessman is to transform that raw material into the finished goods. He has to procure the raw material. He has to do mass production. After mass production, what he'll do, he will go for this manufacturing of those products. Then he will have to store that, okay, in a warehouse. Then insurance, okay. Then also, communication and transportation from one place to another. All those activities are taking place before when the raw materials are being converted into a finished goods. Okay, so that whole activity is treated as business. So here in your textbook, it says that business means it refers to that economic activity. Now see, this word economic activity is we are repeating here, isn't it? You know what is economic activity, yes? So it refers to that economic activity which is conducted on a regular basis, okay, to earn profit through production and sale of goods and services. Now, we will learn about these characteristics. Then you will understand more about this business, okay? So the first one is, it is the characteristics, okay? First one is, it is an economic activity. Yes, business is an economic activity. We do business in order to earn profit, isn't it? That's why it is an economic activity. The second one is, it involves exchange of goods and services. Yeah. For example, an entrepreneur, he brought some goods for his own personal consumption. That will not fall under business, okay? Because he bought that same product in order for his own personal consumption, isn't it? But if he brought that product with the view to sell it, that will come under exchange of goods and services, okay? That will fall under business. Then regularity in dealing. Business should always be done on regular basis. Okay, that means purchase and sell should be always done on a regular. For example, I have an old car. Okay, so in order to buy a new car, I sold out my old car and I bought a new car. That also is not a business, because that is also, we are not doing that on a regular basis, isn't it? So another characteristic is, it should be on regularity in dealing. The next, profit motive. What is profit motive? Profit, we do business in order to earn profit, isn't it? So profit is one of the most important element in business. Okay, so profit motive is also another characteristics. The fifth one is element of risk. Now see, where there is profit, there is always risk. Let me just tell you, in a coin, isn't it? There are two sides, and those two sides are inseparable. Likewise, in business also, profit and risks are inseparable. That's why as an entrepreneur, every business entrepreneur wants to earn profit, but at the same time, he also have to know how to bear all those risks. Okay, so there is always an element of risks. The sixth one is creation of utility. Now, what does this mean? Creations of utility means it is the businessman who used to convert raw material into finished goods, isn't it? The goods that we get in the market are finished product. Okay, the finished goods. So, businessman creates utility. Okay, businessmen convert those raw materials into finished product so that the society are able to use that one. Okay, so creations of utility. The seventh one is consumer satisfaction. Now, consumer is considered to be the king in the market, isn't it? Yes or no? The marketer used to worship the consumer. Okay, so consumer satisfaction means the entrepreneur or the businessman has to produce goods and services according to the needs and wants of the customer. Also, he has to know that he should produce quality goods at a reasonable prices. Okay, so these are the characteristics of business. Now let's come to the profession. Okay, what is profession? Let's see the meaning. It is that occupation in which one professes to have acquired specialized knowledge which is used either in instructing, guiding or advising others. Okay, now when we say profession means it is acquired through specialized knowledge and skills, through trainings and instructions. And then one apply those trainings and instructions in his service. That is called profession. Now see, I am a teacher. By profession, I am a teacher, isn't it? So in order to become a teacher, even I have to have some qualification, isn't it? I have to undergo some teacher's training, okay, so that I can become a teacher. Likewise, if you want to become a chartered accountant, isn't it? At least you have to pass your class 12 examination. Then you will apply for your CA. Maybe within minimum 3 years, maximum 5 years, you will clear your CA and you become a chartered accountant. Like that, this profession means which we acquire through specialized knowledge and skills. Okay, let us see some of the characteristics of this profession. The first point is body of specialized knowledge and technique. Okay, it is a body of specialized knowledge and technique. That means what? Professionals should have a specialized knowledge and technical skills. That means an ordinary person cannot run a profession. Okay, an ordinary person cannot run a profession. That means what? For example, you want a computer operator, isn't that? So you will obviously search a person, a candidate who has a computer knowledge. Okay, so it is based on a specialized knowledge and techniques. The second one is formalized method of acquiring knowledge, formalized method of acquiring training and experiences. Now, we acquire this special knowledge and skill through training and experiences. Okay, so that is the second point. The third one is it establishes establishments of representative professional association. Okay, so it is guided by some professional association. Now, what is this professional association? That means what? For example, for chartered accountant, isn't it? Institute of Chartered Accountant provides certain guidelines, certain code of conduct, okay, so that to monitor the behavior of the members. You got it, isn't it? For example, doctor, okay, the doctor also, the Medical Council of India, doctors, okay, used to provide certain code of conduct so that to regulate the behavior of its members or to help in guiding the activities of its members. Okay, so that is establishments of representative professional association. The fourth one is code of conduct. Code of conduct is also this professional association frames certain code of conduct in order to monitor its employee or in order to monitor its member. Okay, so that is code of conduct. The fifth one, priority of service over economic consideration. Now, profession is also a means of earning money, isn't that? By profession, as a doctor, he also earns money, isn't that? As a teacher also earns money through his profession. So, this professionals are those people who earn money through acquired knowledge and skills, isn't it? So people or the society regard those professionals, okay, they regard those professionals because they not only work for the society, work for themselves, but they also provide services to the society. Okay, so these are the characteristics of profession. Now coming to the last one, that is employment. Now employment, let us see the meaning. It is that economic activity under which people work for others and receive remuneration in lieu thereof. Okay, so employment is nothing but one people is working for another. That means, someone is above my, status. Okay, that means my boss or my owner. Okay, so that is employment. For example, in lieu of remuneration means remuneration can be in the form of wages or salaries or commissions, isn't it? And employees can be any employee. It can be a government employee, it can be a private entrepreneur or a public sector employee. Okay, so let me just give you one example. Okay, if a doctor works in a government hospital, Okay, if a doctor is working in a government hospital, then that activity can be called as employment. But if the same doctor is running his own hospital, okay, then it will be considered as a profession. Okay, so that is the explanation about the meaning of employment. Now coming to the characteristics. The first one, it is services to other. Employment, it gives services to others. The second one is, it is a personal service. Okay, it also provides service for himself. The third one is, it is an agreement. There is always an agreement between the employer and the employee regarding, salary or, wages or commission or whatever. Okay. Then servant. Yes, servant means an employee is a servant of his master and acts accordingly. So, he acts according to his order. Okay. No need of capital. That means since he is just an employee, he do not need any capital contribution, isn't it? So no need of capital contribution. Since there is no capital contribution, there is no risk also. If anything happens, the owner will be the lone one who will be bearing all the risks. Okay. And the last one is nature of employer. Employer means, the owner, isn't it? So the owner can be, a private entrepreneur or an government enterprises. Anybody can be an employer. So here one thing I want you to know is that employer means the owner of the business, okay, and the employee means hired business or hired person for wages. So today we have studied about human activities. Okay, it can be divided into economic and non-economic activities, and economic activities can be further divided into business, profession and employment. So with this, we come to the end of this class. We will continue some topics in next class. Thank you.